Welcome everybody back to the Deposit That podcast. I'm sitting here with Andrew Chavers Jr., also known as Art of a Giant. Andrew, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Tell me about how you got started in this talented field that you've created for yourself.
Man, it started a while back, man. I literally been drawing since I was like 9 years of age,
9 years.
9 years of age. Yeah.
What were you drawing back then?
Back then it was cartoon characters I was inspired by, such as I would draw wrestling figures,
Stone Cold?
Back
The Undertaker?
Back then I was Mr. Perfect, and, Bret Hart and stuff like that.
Sting.
Yeah,
Sting, right?
WCW.
Yeah.
So I started drawing figures I love, like Ninja Turtles, stuff like that when I was younger and stuff like that. And it started to build to more landscaper stuff, as far as boats and stuff like that, stuff I had to do in school, which was required, in elementary school.
So were you in the class doodling?
Doodling stuff, specific things.
They're learn the 1+1, and you're like, no, I'm going to draw.
So I just always was focused on art. Art was always my hobby, just to do it.
Sure.
I didn't take it serious though, however, at one time. After high school, that's when my passion started to increase with the art.
After high school?
After high school.
Do you remember that pivotal moment where you decided to take it to the next level?
Well, when I actually got a scholarship to Davidson's College in South Carolina, but I didn't pursue it at all.
How come?
Because I wanted to go to Morgan State. My family, my background, my FAMU. My mother went to FAMU. My father went to FAMU.
Oh, wow.
So they're both historically black colleges. So
Yep.
I wanted to take that route as well.
Sure.
So I went
pride, a ton of pride, family pride.
Yeah. So I went to Morgan, which is in Baltimore, for a bit, and then I started going through some hardship sometimes.
What were those
some
hardships?
Rough times, family-related issues. Dealing with a lot of stress and stuff like that.
Do you feel like art got you
distracted? Got me back on board.
Really? Got you back on track?
It's my therapeutic thing.
Still to this day?
Still to this day.
Even with the money part of it, even with the clients part of it?
Even with the money and finances, it's just literally something I love to do, and pop culture inspires me.
Sure.
So anything I see on Instagram or something like that that's funny to me, or something that enlightens me,
right.
If I see a Ha Ha Davis skit or a Fat Boy SSC skit,
sure.
I'll get inspired by those little clips. So I'll just draw certain things and
who was the first person that hired you for your work?
The first person that actually famous that actually
or anybody
seen my
famous
work, was Odell Beckham Jr.
Really?
Yep.
Is this picture right here that you had?
No, he actually has a painting of mine. I did
wow.
a painting.
One of one?
So this came to be. I actually went to an autograph session because I collect them. I'm a big Giants fan.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I love the Giants. I had it tatted. I'm a huge Giants
That better
fan.
say Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Like that.
I hope so. Please
soon,
put them
soon.
in.
Yeah.
Please put them in. I literally started drawing Giants figures, all Giants figures. So, and I collect them and put them in my man cave. So once
That's
I
awesome.
put them in my man cave, I'll have them sign them because I would go to training camps, stuff like that. Connecticut is only about a hot skip
Not
in
too
the
far.
jump from the stadium.
Yep.
So I would go to the events, the training camps, etc., to get my stuff signed. Odell had an appearance his first year in his rookie year in Connecticut, which was Danbury Mall, Danbury Fair Mall.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went there, he was there, and I had my half and half painting. I'll never forget a half and half. It's still in my basement. It's half Odell LSU and half Odell New York Giants.
That's awesome.
So I did half of it. So he seen it. It was only on a little small canvas.
And you brought this to his appearance?
I brought it to his appearance. He seen it. He was like, "Wow, I want one of those."
Lucky for you, I have one of those.
Yeah, so I was like, "I have this one. You can take this one if you like, as a gift.
Sure.
I'm a big fan."
Sure.
He's like, "No, you keep that. You keep that." So his contact, which at the time was Dan Rue.
Okay.
Dan Rue is a big dancer on. I don't know if you know him with. His name is Dan Rue.
He's white people don't. I don't dance. White people don't dance.
He's a social media.
Only white girls.
He's a social media. Big on social media now. He was his roommate at the time, so he took down my number and my personal contact, And he was like, yeah, can you make one for O, which is bigger? And I actually have photos of it. So I met with him at the Palisades Mall.
Yeah, sure.
And yeah, to hand him a bigger one, I made a bigger one for him. And after that, I was like, wow, if I can get the eyes out of somebody.
Well, talent's talent, right?
Yeah,
At the end of the day, like you could be a nobody to yourself, but if someone appreciates your values, real
Absolutely.
skill they've never seen before,
Yeah,
you have to imagine that's going to catch fire.
absolutely. And then I just noticed my potential there. If I can reach out to somebody that's this big. This was after the big catch.
Sure. Oh, really? The one
yeah,
hand.
this was right after the big catch, and this one
Sure.
started to blow up for him. So
That was like 2015.
2015.
2015,
yep,
right?
Yep.
So
And,
where do you see this passion taking you? Obviously, you have a full-time job as well, which you took off today to come record
I
this,
did.
right? So
Yes, I
obviously, this
did.
passion's
Yeah,
much more exciting than your day job, if you will.
absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about how you balance those two, obviously, dynamics. You have two children.
I have 2 children as well. So
How do you balance that dynamic?
Basically, I do my fatherly duties and my work. Come home when they get into bed, then I get right back to business.
Back to the studio.
Back to the studio, literally, right at the drawing, at the kitchen table where my wife hates it.
Leaving your stuff
She
everywhere?
hates it. She
Yeah.
hates it. Yeah,
Do you ever see this becoming a full-time gig for you?
I hope so. That's my goal.
What type of income do you need per year in order to leave your full-time job?
It's pretty hard right now because the benefits. Because
Tough.
of the benefits,
And
it's
2
tough.
kids, wife. Sure.
Yeah, and my kids I have great benefits, so
Sure.
my kids and my wife is on my benefits, so it's pretty tough.
It
right
adds up.
now.
It adds
So,
up.
but with the extra income, it's beautiful.
Sure.
But yeah, as far as that, it would have to take some work in order for me to quit my day.
But that's your goal.
Job.
Your overall goal is to do this
Absolutely.
full-time.
Absolutely,
Where-
I love it.
Where did you come up with this dictionary portrait style highlighting?
Okay.
I want to know how you came up with this particular style of art.
So my goal is to stay in my lane and not do other people's thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
I'm
art.
a big believer in
I've
staying in the
always
lane.
doing that.
Unless
So-
I'm driving. If I'm
Yeah,
driving,
I
I might
just-
come over in your lane. But I'm going to blow past you.
Yeah, I'm a big believer of staying in my own lane, you know. So I started off stuff. So I was like, how can I create things in my environment that's literally wow people? So anything in my environment. So I started off with painting leaves. I started painting leaves in the fall.
What would you paint on them?
I would paint Giants players.
Really?
I would type, like if a leaf was green,
Yeah.
I would
Jets.
literally paint a Yoda. I would paint a Yoda, like a Yoda,
Yeah,
because
sure, yeah.
Yoda's green.
Yeah.
So I would paint like different green
Wow.
things on it. Yeah, if you on my IG, you'll see
Sure.
all of that stuff. You scroll down, and then I started painting on maps.
Where'd that come from? Just because it was
The
easy, it was
maps
there, it was
came-
free.
The maps came from school. So basically,
You're stealing them?
I seen these.
We return
So
them
I
with art
seen
on
these
it.
maps, you know, on the boards, on the bullets. You remember the old maps you just
Yeah,
pulled
of
down
course. They're
when we was
big.
old
Oh,
school?
yeah, they were the worst.
Yeah, that was
18 feet
Yeah,
long.
so I see those all the time
Sure.
and stuff like that. And I was like, how can I incorporate something with a map? So I just started thinking of these ideas as far as like a map of Chicago. First thing that came to my mind was Michael Jordan.
Sure. Bulls.
Michael Jordan was the first thing that came to my mind. That was the first map piece I ever did.
Wow.
Yep. So then I started to say, like, okay, where is these people from? These pop people that
Right.
I grew up with,
Right.
which I admire. Michael Jackson. I did Michael Jackson on Gary, Indiana. That's where he's from. I did a piece like that.
That's awesome.
So I just kept going on. Then I seen Giants games I was inspired by, so I would draw certain catches and certain plays from that specific game on a map of where that game is.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, like, if it's in Miami, if they're playing the Dolphins, I would draw it on Miami, on the map of Miami. I would get my hands on these road maps from Walmart. Shout out to Walmart.
So now, do you feel like as you're creating this art, it's evolving? So like you're looking at it, and as you're sitting there, you have an initial idea of what you want it to look like, but as you're studying it, you just add that much more creativity to it?
Absolutely. I just if I see certain designs on a illustration on a map, I would want to encounter that with the art. You know what I mean? So it's just a creative. I don't know. I don't know what it is. My mind goes so many ways that it's just like, oh wow, like my imagination is just like, I don't know how to mention it.
What do you do when somebody? I'll just give a crazy example. Use R. Kelly as an example, right? R. Kelly, talented artist, talented music. Obviously, he's made bad personal decisions, right? And people stop listening to his music because he made bad personal decisions. But they listen to his music for the past 20 years, right? What's your opinion on something like that, right? Because I feel like people, once they make a bad personal choice in life, people stop supporting their their professional career. What do you think about having those two different lifestyles? Personally,
I personally myself stopped supporting.
You did?
Yeah. Me with 2 kids.
So if you have his song comes on, you turn it right off.
Yeah, I don't listen to R. Kelly.
But it's because you have 2 kids, you think?
I feel I have 2 kids, and that relates. I have a daughter.
So that hits home.
I have a young daughter.
That hits home.
So that hits home. You know what I mean? So that was just to have that whole situation go down like that. And
Not good.
I loved R. Kelly.
Yeah,
R. Kelly.
Dude, he was one of the best in the 90s.
R. Kelly is one of the greatest of all time.
Yep.
You can never take away his talent.
Yep.
But as far as you got to think of it in the aspect, what if that was your daughter? What if that was your child?
Well, he'd be dead.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No questions asked.
And like that controversial issue, I wouldn't bother.
Do you feel though that a lot of successful people have these alter egos or have these dark, dirty, not appropriate pasts because like it feeds something in their soul that allows them to then go and put all their passion and energy and creativity into something else? Truthfully, I mean, we're starting to see that a lot more today with technology. Everyone's exposed.
Everybody's exposed.
Everyone's exposed. Antonio Brown.
They're all human.
You see, someone just came out and said that he raped him in college.
Yeah.
Now's not the time to do that. Like you're waiting now to bring it out.
And it's funny after the whole New England acquire that all actually just came out.
Come on.
And I was
it looks too much though.
I would, on that, I would have to see more evidence on that for now, because it's just a coincidence. What a coincidence! All of a sudden, he moves to New England
completely,
and then all of this dirt and shade just starts to come up out of nowhere.
So it makes me think, though, looking at obviously you're a sports guy, you look back at it. He was a nobody, right? Even before college, that's why he went to I think Central Michigan.
Yep.
And worked his ass off, had the best work ethic in the league, came out, was quiet, humble, busted his ass. Literally, probably, I think he leads the league since he came in, like yards, catches, you name it, like all these stats, right? Mm-hmm. And then something clicks in his brain, and it's like, I need to change who I am. So do you think that's who he really was before all those days when he wasn't humble? Truthfully, because or did he let the fame get to his head where he said, no one can stop me?
I think it's more fame.
More fame.
Yeah.
Now he's somebody who never had it before.
When you take somebody from lower class income to a stature when they see a check and they're like, wow, like I've never seen this before. It's like winning a lotto. So you're like, what do I do with this? You're not, you know what I mean? And to process this, there's some humble guys out there. Don't get me wrong. There's tons of humble athletes, very humble athletes. And the way they stature Odell, honestly, I think Odell's a great guy.
He is.
I met him twice. He's a great guy.
Hard worker.
But certain people, you can tell, like the money probably got to him because you can see recent videos prior to them making it and getting that name out there. And you see them, and they're more humble and grounded, and then you notice the upbringing. You see the things that they have around them. And you would think like, oh, they kind of changed.
So how would you say people should prepare for that, right? Like, let's say you use yourself as an example. Let's say there comes a day, which I believe it's going to come soon. Someone's like, look, I'm going to pay you $2,000 a day to come and just paint, right? And you're booked 5 days a week. You're making $10,000 a week, $40,000 a month, $500,000 a year. How do you still maintain that humbleness? How do you still reply to those DMs from nobody? You know what I'm saying? How do you advise people prepare for that? Because there's going to come a time where, in my opinion, you're going to be very successful, even more so than where you are just in this.
My thing is, I always stay grounded because my grandmother, God rest her soul, she always said to me, that doesn't come with you when you leave here. All those materialistic things don't come with you when you leave here. So you can lose that within a minute. You know what I mean? You can lose that.
Sure.
I've lost family in the past, and you know what I mean? So, and I've never thought in my life that the most important people to me, I never would have thought in my life in a million years I wouldn't be talking to them right now. However, that's how I know, that's a life lesson. I know that you have to stay grounded because you never know when that can just all go away. You know what I mean? You can have the millions and whatever.
It means nothing if you have what's most important to you.
It means absolutely nothing.
Interesting. So, as far as this artwork goes, again, back to the dictionary, were you a big dictionary reader?
No, well, that came to play.
3 pages.
Now, that came to play with a lady I work with named Danae Young.
Okay.
So, Danae Young, she actually, she's a social studies teacher. So she has all these books and stuff like that. She said she noticed my art and stuff like that. She's seen me doing maps and everything. So she was like, one day, she was just like, why don't you do a dictionary? And I was like, all right. Because she said she's seen me doing platforms like maps and stuff, different objects, like different things to be different and separate myself. She said, you should do a dictionary, a book. And I was like, So I started scrolling through a dictionary and literally looked at words that I thought, like, hey, this is what this word means to me. You know what I mean?
Have you seen anyone else with the same style?
I've never seen anybody else with that same concept.
Never
seen anybody with that same
concept. You know what I thought
concept.
would even be cool is, I don't know if you've done it, but like the Bible. You could take the Bible.
That would be blasphemous because...
What, did you write down the Bible?
You know what? That's a lot of people.
Not if you're putting Jesus on it.
I got shade for this. Like, literally,
serious?
People thought when
like
when Meek Mill posted that, they literally thought that was on the Bible. And I got DMs and I got people in the comments, you shouldn't be writing the Bible. That's God's work.
But people are always going to be haters, though. They always have to come at you for some reason or another.
Absolutely. And people ask me to do stuff on Bibles.
I'm sure.
People ask me to say...
So, look, my opinion is art, right? Art's been around for...
It's a form of expression.
It's a form of expression.
Absolutely.
So, as long as you're doing your sign of the cross before writing the Bible or asking God's permission, God bless.
Yeah.
Literally, maybe you can go in the Bible and get God and paint God or whatever that figure is to you. So I don't know if you saw yesterday. We all know each other, but I hope one thing that you will learn is I'm as real as it gets, right? I have no filter, respectfully though.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm not gonna just come out and attack somebody, but if you come at me, you're gonna get everything.
Oh,
all
absolutely.
170 pounds soaking wet, right? All full speed. So I was talking to a friend yesterday morning, and we were just joking around, deposit that. So I'm like, these haters, man. I'm like, they're out here. I'm like, they just can't help themselves. And I'm not going to go and entertain them. But how do we make a statement, right? So we were joking around. So we came up with a deposit that dildo, right? And it's like for the haters to go, deposit that. You got nothing else better to do? Here's this deposit that dildo, as a joke. But people, like I said, people can't help themselves.
You should hashtag that too, by the way.
Yeah, you think?
Hell yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
It's just, in my opinion, it's kind of like, why are you wasting your time? Like, you have something that's your God's gift to this earth with this stuff. Truthfully, like this speaks so much volume. It speaks so much language. This lightens up people's lives. Like, I'm even thinking about like every guest I have, create one for each one of them. I pay for it, send it to them as a thank you. This would probably be, depending on if they're married or not, in their bedroom hanging up because look, everyone needs this to find somebody, right? So for somebody to come at you and looking at the 1% negative, okay, you wrote on a Bible. It's like, yeah, but you probably have, not you, the person who's saying it, like you probably have other demons that no one knows about, right? Like you're trying to make me bad. I'm 99% good, 1% bad. You suck as a human being, but you want to come at me?
Yeah.
It's like, what is that, So when those people DM you, what do you reply to them with? Like,
I just don't respond to something. No response.
There's no reason to.
No reason to. One time I got into it with somebody on the comments and I was like, you know what? It's not even worth my time. You know what I mean? It's not even worth my time.
It's funny. So as you know, I'm in mortgages and real estate, and this black lady from the Bronx one day, I posted something very clear, and you could tell she was uneducated, right? Black, Spanish, doesn't matter. You can be white.
Doesn't matter. You can be
in this particular case, it was an African American woman who was
too sensitive,
very uneducated, very, very sensitive, right? Just not smart at all. So she said something to me like, "You're gentrifying the Bronx," and I'm like, "What?" I go, I've never built any properties in the Bronx. I own properties in the Bronx. I bought them when I was 24 before gentrification was even taught about, right? No one even talked about it then. It was big in other places in the country, but not particularly here.
Yeah.
I live in the community. I've always lived in an urban area. I lived in the Bronx. I lived
Mm-hmm.
in New Rochelle. Now I live in Jersey City Heights. When I moved there, I was like one of 3 white people. So I'm gentrifying it. No, I'm living here because it's affordable. Like, wait, hold on. I'm going to where it's affordable, and everyone else who's smart is going to go live where it's affordable. Like, this is a business decision, right? And I'm just like, look, lady, I'm like, I can go back and forth with you. If you have any problems, you need help, come to me and I'll help you. Never replied again. I'm like, I'm giving you solutions. You're saying here you have all these problems, and I offer you my hand, like, here, for free. I won't even charge you. And then you disappear. You know, it's kind of like they come at you for no reason on your platform, just to come at you, like take their anger or aggression out with no repercussion.
It's social media. Like, you know, social media can bring out the good and it can bring out the worst in people, like literally. And I choose not to partake in the negative.
I respect that. I mean, I think it's the biggest thing to do.
Yeah,
I mean, how do you find something negative in this beautiful creation?
I've never took in the negative factors of social media. You know, I've just always positive vibes for me. That's what it's always been. And if you're negative, just stay over there. I don't want nothing to do with it.
What's your favorite type of artwork to create?
I love the maps.
You do, still?
I love the maps, but this is the foundation because it's words that you're using.
Powerful.
It's
I
powerful.
can't tell you
You're
how powerful
using
it is.
words. You know what I mean? Like, so I grew up in Stamford, Connecticut.
Oh, you're from Stanford?
Yes.
I play basketball. I play basketball every other Sunday morning at the New York Sports Club in Stamford, Connecticut.
Yeah, I grew up
Commerce
in Stamford.
Commerce Drive over there.
Yep, born and raised. I know exactly where you are.
Really?
Yeah, born and raised.
Huh.
So I grew up in Stanford, like I said, so WWE was big for me.
Sure.
So if I think of a word like Undertaker, I'm going to be like, oh, of course, the Undertaker. I'm going to think of the wrestling figure, the Undertaker.
Sure.
I'll think of different things like Paul Bearer. I'll think of his manager. So that's his manager. So I'll draw Paul Bearer under a manager. So, you know, quarterback, first person, I think about Eli. Or
not Brady.
Yeah.
Eli owns Brady.
No way he's actually the GOAT.
Yeah.
He is the GOAT.
Yeah.
But
Mahomes is coming to take his shrine now. That boy can play.
That kid is nasty.
Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
He's nasty.
Have you done anything for him yet?
No. You gave me an idea.
You got it. GOAT and then have Brady, but Mahomes maybe like chasing him or something like that, you know, like stepping in his shadow.
I've been trying to add the 2 pages, like put 2 pages together to make a story though. That's what I want to do.
Wow.
That's my next idea. I've been trying to work myself on creating stories with the 2 pages. You get what I'm saying?
Kind of like the mortgage quarterback.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But you need to have the same words on the same page you're saying. Like,
absolutely.
Like, whatever.
Like that's what we did with this one.
Yep.
I did this like with this one. My wife kind of scrambled the word up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she works at Neopost, so she can work with the postage meters. So she does. She's trying to flop this up because Q is not with it
at all. Yeah, anywhere near. Yeah, there's a couple words in between. That's so honestly, like you look at that and.
So she did that, and I just drew over it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what do you think would be like a big help to you in your business? I mean, obviously getting more custom jobs, but really something to put you on the map, like painting Yankee Stadium or, you know, going to the New England Patriots and putting a shrine up of Brady or something like that. What do you think would be that next huge opportunity?
Well, I'm working on, I want to work on actually making shirts.
Okay.
With the dictionaries.
So paint them and then print
them.
Really?
Actually, I had somebody do that on social media.
It's a great idea.
It's a musician.
Yeah.
Their name is I think Drew Boy.
Okay.
His name is Drew Boy. He got big in Philly. Meek Mill actually posted him.
Oh wow.
So I was influenced by his video, and I drew him and his hype man as well, King Dre.
Always gotta put the hype man.
Yeah, with his hype man. So I put him as hype man. So they seen it. They posted it to their page.
Wow.
And when they posted it to their page, of course, the following went up and everything, and they decided to put them on shirts in their next video. In their next,
oh my gosh!
So they put them on shirts, and I seen it, and I was like, "That looks great. That actually looks great on a shirt.
A nice white shirt.
It looks clean on a nice white shirt."
Yep.
So yeah, that's my next one. Next thing I want to invest in.
So you're into fashion.
Absolutely.
A
little bit of fashion with my art on it. So
wow.
You know.
I mean, that's huge. I think, look, anywhere you want to go, you'll be able to take yourself. I think it's really about balancing the time and making sure you're being compensated for what your skill set really is. You know, a lot of people I've learned that a lot of people think they're worth more than what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I find the real players are worth a lot more than what they actually get compensated for. Does that make sense? Like you might underprice your work because you don't have that confidence. And there's people out there that are not as talented as you saying, oh, I'm going to charge $2,000 for, and you're like, wait, what? I can go buy the same thing for $300. Why am I going to, why am I going to pay you or nobody, right?
Absolutely.
Now, but I think that's the most important thing, man. It's really having that like steady flow of work and really figuring out how every piece that you create means something to you as well. Like incorporating your own personal twist to it. Like I said, you're the artist, man. Here's what I'm visualizing.
Go with it.
You're the expert.
And that's what I do. I flow with it. And I'm glad you gave me that opportunity to do that.
It's huge. I mean,
because there's a lot of people that wants me to tweak it up their way.
It's like, do you want to be the artist?
And I'm like, if you want to be
why
the
don't you hire
artist,
yourself?
that's fine. I can definitely give you your money back.
Right.
That's not a problem.
Interesting.
But yeah, like there's a lot of people that won't let the artist go with the flow. That's their style. Right. That's the way they're doing. So you're taking away from their creativity. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And another thing I would like too is also a website.
Okay. So you want?
I want a website.
So we have people that can help you out with all that stuff. Yeah. I think you should get like a Shopify, for example.
Absolutely need a shop.
And just post your stuff up there, put a price tag on it, and have people just start buying it.
Yeah.
And tagging it. There's a way to incorporate on one of my websites where like every time somebody hashtags like Art of a Giant, when they hashtag it, that post would automatically feed into your website. So now everyone that tags your work, it automatically filters into your website, so you don't even have to update it.
Oh, wow.
I think that'd be pretty cool. And have everything just scrolling for you.
Wow.
That's a good feed.
And I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
See?
I've tried a couple different things out.
Technology is insane, man.
So when they say art is war, right? What does that mean to you?
Art is war.
They say art is war. They say most artists come out in times of war and express themselves, like Banksy and all those guys. Yeah. So like art is war. People.
If you're I feel like if you're expressing yourself, you know what I mean. It depends on how you feel, like your mood. Like your mood is everything. So if I'm feeling some type of way, if I see something on TV, like as far as police brutality,
which is horrible. Yeah.
If I see that, then I'm not going to shut up about it. I'm going to express myself through a dictionary. Like I did one of, if you look over here, I did one of Eric Gardner.
You should send it to his family.
Yeah, and I would like to donate it to his family.
That'd be awesome.
Definitely. I did one of Eric Gardner.
Wow.
So that has always been on my brain to do something about that and
breathless.
Express myself.
Wow.
In my art with that. So
it's powerful.
Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to be known and wanted to be heard. So art is war. It means a lot. I feel it means a lot, but it's just self-expression.
What's your favorite piece that you've ever done?
My favorite piece I've ever done.
So talented.
What is my favorite piece?
Rick Ross.
Actually, that's one of my favorite pieces, the Rick Ross one, because I love the smoke.
Okay.
I love the smoke encounter
awesome.
On it,
yep.
and I experimented with that. I
and
never did smoke.
That's funny.
Yeah, I never did smoke like that on that one. That Rick Ross one is good, and I like the Taco Tuesday one I did with LeBron.
That's awesome. Third day of the week. Now, what inspired that?
Oh, LeBron. His thing is Taco Tuesday
Serious?
now. He loves this stuff.
Since he stopped losing, I stopped watching.
He comes on with these videos on Instagram actually.
Really?
That's this like Taco Tuesday.
Really?
With his kids in the video and everybody in the video. He actually has shirts made that says
so you
Taco
gotta put
Tuesday.
that on a shirt and send it to him.
Yeah,
you gotta start sending stuff out, man. What do you do? You're sitting on gold here. Dwayne Harris, he's playing for Oakland now.
I know.
So how do you feel about Odell going to Cleveland? Is that kind of one for the gut?
That hurt my heart, man.
Did it?
That hurt
Landon Collins too. He's out.
We're struggling, man.
Landon was my first marketing endorsement deal. When I ran a bank, I had him as my kind of like guy that signs everything.
Yeah.
So I did like an endorsement deal. I know his agent very well, Justin out of Athletes First.
Yeah, Landon has my work as well too.
Does he?
Yeah.
Super humble guy.
He's very humble.
From Louisiana.
Humble 21.
Yeah. So with Odell going to Cleveland, are you still rooting for him or not as much?
I root for Odell all the time.
You
I'm
do.
a big Odell fan.
You do.
Yeah, I love Odell.
Do you think he's going to get it? Oh, there's Brady. There you go.
Yeah, that's the GOATs right there.
Oh, my gosh. So, how do you pick and choose who you follow on Instagram? Because I feel like social media is obviously a big influence to your brain and creativity, right? What you follow, you subconsciously download and project out to the world. So, how do you personally pick and choose who you follow?
Basically, who's hot in pop culture. If somebody puts a figure up that I feel is funny, or they do a skit that's funny, and they have this person in it that I feel is hilarious. Like I said, I like to laugh and stuff like
Dave
that.
Chappelle. I haven't watched it yet, but I heard that
and it
is
was
fire.
hilarious.
I heard it was unbelievable.
Yes, and it's a lot of controversy.
Yeah. He's getting big heat for it.
Yeah, I know he is.
But he purposely did it.
But Dave Chappelle can do that. 'Cause it's Dave Chappelle. It's Dave Chappelle, and I missed that show dearly.
Right. That was back 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, which was every day you wanted to watch.
Classic.
Yeah, it's all people did was binge watch
Clayton
Dave.
Bixby was the most epic piece ever.
Interesting.
But yeah, so anybody in pop culture, basically, or somebody that I follow rare people. I find myself following like rare people because they were back in the day, because like 90s. So I'll follow like Elizabeth Berkley from Saved by the Bell.
Serious?
Yeah, I like Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I had a crush on one of those girls. Yeah.
I like Saved by the Bell. So I'll follow like people I grew up with in the 90s. Nickelodeon was big back then.
Huge.
It was huge. So I'll follow Kel Mitchell.
Keenan and
Kel. Like I love that stuff. Influenced me. Like if I was to do a dictionary right now, I'm working on Keenan and Kel one. I would do love, the word love, and I would have orange soda. So by him,
Perfect,
have him holding the orange soda with the word love, because Kel loves orange soda.
Right.
So I would do that stuff.
That should be you should do a whole 90s.
90s theme. That's my thing, man. I'm so 90s.
How old are you?
I'm 34.
You're older than me.
Yeah,
I'm
32.
Wow.
I'll be 32.
I'll be 33 this year.
I'm 34.
Those 90s, man, there was nothing better than coming home on a Friday.
That was the golden era of everything. And I try to bring, and with my audience on social media, I try to bring people back to it.
Right.
The people that I grew up with, because I see a lot of people engage with it. So like I did like a Real Monsters piece one time, and I did like a Doug piece. And
Doug Funny.
And I said, and I did a Menace to Society piece, and Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that is all 90s. So I bring my audience back to where I'm at.
You know what's funny, right? So I feel like in the 90s, it was that contrasting theory of, in the early 90s, it was playing outside, playing ball with your friends, drawing, doing real life, real human interaction experiences.
Kids don't go outside no more.
And then AOL came about. And once AOL hit and that became mainstream, everyone put their hands up, and there was very limited real life experience. So you might go play in a ball game, but then you're coming home to go on AOL or AIM. And I feel like us millennials, if you will, are that hybrid between like real life experience, because our first, call it 6 to 10 years of life, was that real in your face, outside, playing outside. And then from 10 on, we were like, whoa, this is easier. We could communicate with everybody. Yep. So I feel like bringing people back to like the real raw version of what people experience, it'll hit home to them.
Absolutely.
So look, as we wrap up the show, we always close out with one thing you want listeners to remember you for, other than your soon-to-be famous artwork, to deposit to their brain. So deposit, that means I want you to leave here with one thing today that you could deposit to your brain, to your bank, if you will, that you could implement in your personal or business life that could help take you to the next level. What's one thing you want to be remembered for?
The empowerment of social media, basically. I want people to remember that social media brings us power. It brings us all power. So if you can go to that platform, it's a huge platform for us. I feel that you can grow, and you can grow with your businesses as far as that. Other than that, that's...
So you're welcome to offer, obviously, all listeners that hear this, a special promotion or discount on your work. Obviously, we'll post this up. We'll do some screenshots of it. How much, if somebody wants to come to you for a customized piece like this with the, obviously, dictionary and something like that, how much would you charge them for something?
$250.
$250?
Yep.
That's a great deal.
$250.
Awesome. What do you normally charge?
Same price.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
I do. You got up your prices, man. You're giving this shit away. This isn't a charity.
You
got two kids to feed, So 250 and then follow you on.
You know what? I go with size too.
Okay, gotcha.
The size as
So
well.
if the size is bigger, it
Yeah,
can
if
go
the
up a little
size is
price.
bigger, the prices go bigger, higher.
Art of a Giant, all underscores, right?
All underscores
On Instagram.
Art of a Giant.
Listen, dude, you're super talented. I wish you nothing but the best, and whatever I could do to help you. Maybe
Thank you,
put a
bro.
link on my website, just for you to have people hire you custom. I truly believe in not only the work you're doing, but your meaning behind it. So it's
We
been a
will
pleasure having you on the show. Whatever
you
you
for
need,
having
man,
me.
whatever you got, I'm here for you.
I appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for coming from Connecticut too,
No problem.
and taking your day off from your
Shout
real
out
job.
to CT.